A year of your life is not the same length twice. At age 10, a summer felt endless. At age 40, that same summer is gone in a blink. But here's the strange part. The clock never changed. Your brain did. Think about the last 5 years of your life. Now think about ages 5 to 10. Which one feels longer, even though both are exactly 5 years? For almost everyone, childhood wins. Not because more time passed, because more happened in your mind during that time. Every day you drive the same route to work, your brain barely notices it. But the first time you ever drove alone, you remember every second. That difference is the key to this entire mystery. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your 30s disappear faster than your 10th birthday ever did. Here's a strange idea psychologists call proportional time. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is 20% of your entire life. When you're 50 years old, that same 1 year is only 2%. Your brain doesn't measure time in days. It measures time in proportion to what you've already lived. So a year at 50 genuinely feels 10 times smaller than a year at 5. This is sometimes called the ratio theory of time perception. Mathematically, your 20s should feel roughly as long as your entire childhood combined. That sounds impossible, but ask any 30-year-old and they'll tell you it's true. But what no one expected was this. The ratio isn't just a feeling. It might be rewiring how your memory actually stores your life. Your brain doesn't record time like a video camera. It records time like a photographer chasing new events. When something is unfamiliar, your brain fires extra neurons to encode it. That's why your first kiss, your first car crash, your first day of college feel burned into memory. But routine mornings, routine commutes, routine dinners barely get filmed at all. Neuroscientists call this encoding density. The more new details your brain captures, the longer that memory feels in hindsight. Childhood is packed with firsts. First words, first friendships, first heartbreaks. Adulthood is packed with repeats. Same job, same route, same routine. So your brain simply has less footage to look back on. But what no one expected was that this isn't just about memory. It changes how your brain perceives time while it's actually happening. Here's a puzzle nearly everyone has experienced. A week on vacation feels like it flies by while you're living it. But when you get home, that same week feels like it lasted forever. This is called the holiday paradox, and it proves something wild. Time perception works in two completely separate directions. In the moment, novelty makes time speed up because your brain is busy processing everything new. But in memory, that same novelty makes time expand because there's so much stored detail to sort through. Meanwhile, a week where nothing new happens feels slow while you're in it. But in memory, it shrinks down to almost nothing. Your brain essentially compresses boring weeks into a single blurry file. Some people report entire boring years that, in memory, feel shorter than a single unforgettable weekend. Time perception isn't only psychological, it's also biological. Some researchers point to your metabolism as a hidden factor. As children, your heart rate, breathing rate, and metabolism run faster than an adult's. One theory suggests your internal biological clock ticks in sync with those rhythms. A faster metabolism may mean your brain processes more frames per second, so to speak. More mental frames per real-world second means each moment feels stretched out. As you age, your metabolism slows, and so might your internal frame rate. Fewer frames per second means real time races past your perception. It's a controversial theory, but it lines up strangely well with common experience. Toddlers seem to experience 5 minutes of waiting as an eternity. Adults barely notice 5 minutes disappearing at all. But what no one expected was this effect might even connect to something as simple as your resting heart rate. There's one more piece to this puzzle, and it involves how your brain marks a life. Childhood and young adulthood are full of milestones. First day of school, learning to drive, graduating, first job, first apartment. Each milestone acts like a flag planted in your timeline. Psychologists call these reminiscence bumps, and they cluster heavily between ages 15 and 30. After that, milestones become rarer. Careers stabilize, routines settle, fewer flags get planted in the timeline. With fewer flags, your brain has fewer landmarks to measure time by. Without landmarks, the years start blending into a single long stretch. This is why people in their 40s often struggle to separate one year from another. Ask someone what happened in their life at 22, and they'll have a story instantly.
Ask what happened at 37, and many people go silent. But what no one expected was that you can artificially create more of these flags on purpose. Here is the fact you'll want to repeat to someone tonight. Studies on novelty and memory suggest that deliberately doing new things can measurably slow down your perceived time. People who travel to new places, learn new skills, or change routines report that entire years feel noticeably longer afterward. Meanwhile, people who repeat the same schedule for years report life speeding up dramatically. In other words, time isn't just something that happens to you.
It's partly something your brain manufactures based on how much new information you feed it. The people who feel like life is flying by are often, without realizing it, living the most repetitive years of their lives. And the people who say their year felt so long, in a good way, almost always changed something big. Your brain isn't just a passive clock, it's an editor, cutting long, boring stretches down to nothing and stretching unforgettable moments out for years. So the next time a year feels like it vanished, ask yourself how much of it was actually new. Time isn't running out faster. Your brain is just filming less of it. What's one year of your life that felt like it lasted forever? And what made it different? Tell me in the comments below. If this made you rethink how your own memory works, like this video and subscribe for more science of the mind you never knew you needed.